FC Farmer here, coming to you from Farming Simulator 2013. We're going to hop back into Westbridge Hills. So where I left you guys is pretty much where we're at. So we're going to hop on here. What we need to do is fertilize our fields. I like to fertilize before I plant, so we'll go ahead and fertilize, and then our fields will be ready for planting. This will be the first time we actually get to do something with our new field number 20. So this will be good. Okay, so like I said, I have not done anything with the farm since we logged out last time. So you notice we still got rain going on. I'm just trying to find my numbers here. Okay, so got that ready to go. Still raining. Rainy day. Okay, so I'll just hop in here real quick to show you guys. Nothing going on in these fields. Cultivated, ready to go. And fertilizer will be a good thing to do since the rain is still coming down. Kind of limits what we can do here. Wonder if it's going to rain all day. Still got 25,000 there of wheat in storage. I'm looking forward to selling that so we can make some money. But I don't want to do it during the rain, and since we're really not in need of it right now, I don't see a whole lot of point in selling it at this point in time. Right, up in our John Deere. Okay, head over to our fertilizer spot. I am going to keep track of these numbers, even though I think I've already kind of figured out the fertilizer price per liter. I'm going to write it down and calculate it anyway, just to make sure. Okay. So, we've got $88,059. See what we end up with, and that is for right now. We got 349 liters. Okay, refill. Just go ahead and fill it all the way up because I know we're going to use most of it doing the fields. Okay, so that takes us up to 1,750 liters and $86,685. Quick calculations. Okay, so it cost us $13.74, and we bought 1401 liters. So that works out to basically 98 cents. Per liter. So yep, it's still about that price that we thought it was. I'll tell you what we're gonna do, because I probably won't show all of the fertilizing. I mean, after all, you guys have already seen me fertilize field 6 and 7, or 5 and 6. I mean, we're gonna go ahead and go down to field 20. Field 20 we haven't done anything with, so this will be your first time really getting to see it. My first time getting to do anything on it. We're gonna be able to make it up this hill in the rain. I think so. There's one steep hill. Okay. So we'll head down to field 20 and we'll do some work on that. Again, I'm trying to do most of the stuff on screen. And I'll see how time goes, but I'll see if I do all of the fertilizing on screen. I mean, after all, if you watch me do field 20 and field 16, you kind of get the idea. So. There we go. Okay. So let's get set up on here. How wide is our fertilizer spreader? Can never remember. Meters. Okay. Turn GPS on. Crank it up. 18 meters. Whoa, look at it jumping all over the place. Okay. So we need to go more. That would be the wrong way. This way. We don't want too much overspray, but we do want just a little, just to make sure we cover everything. So that's pretty good. Okay. Turn it on and hit level 2. Except go forward. Hold on. Gotta turn it down. With the fertilizer, you're not supposed to go over 9 miles per hour with the fertilizer spreader. So if you start on a hill, like I did, then you need to watch it. Okay. Or this way. Still more this way. Okay. Lock that in. Speed. Turn it on. If you're right about 9 miles per hour, that warning sign might keep flashing up. It is for me now. That's not a big deal. But if you stay above 9 miles per hour for a period of time, then you'll miss spots with your fertilizer. So, and look at that hill right in our field. So that's gonna be interesting. Just take it in there. Line it up, and there we go again. So, kind of like how we work field 16 where we go up one side and down the other. I'm thinking that's what we might have to do for this field with that big hump right there. I'm sure with most of our stuff our tractor can probably get up that hill without too much of an issue, but fertilizing makes things seem so easy because it goes so quickly compared to everything else we've been doing lately on the farm. So, okay, on, go. And unfortunately, this field is of a width that's gonna leave just a little bit at the edge, kind of like field number 5. Field 6 actually works out almost perfectly so that you're not really wasting much. Field 5 is like this one where you have a little strip on the edge, doesn't end up fertilized. That map your guys' way. Sorry about that. I feel like if we purchase another field 19, which is that one right there, would probably be it. You know, since it's right next to a field we already have, it's kind of the last field on the map that's not very big. Which reminds me, I need to check on the size of field 20. Let's see if this tells me what I want. Switch it to over there, out of there. Okay. So field, just do a quick check of this stuff to make sure it's about right. 1.15 and 0.97. So yeah, those numbers are right about correct. And so let's find field 20. Assuming that number is correct also, it's 1.67 hectares. So it's another couple acre field. The numbers for, actually, I'll pull that up again. 5, 6, what's 16 say? 2.73. So yeah, all of those numbers for those fields, which I already know the sizes of, are within 1/100th hectare. So I think we can trust the field size listed in this for field 20 down to 566 liters, which means we've used 1184 liters. Multiply that out by our price of 98 cents per liter, and we end up with a price of $1,160 to fertilize this field. Very good. Now, fertilizer usage is supposed to be around like 600 or 650, somewhere in there, per hectare. But obviously, unlike seeding, when you're fertilizing, if you do one of those little narrow strips, it doesn't only take enough fertilizer or use enough fertilizer to cover that little strip. It keeps spreading over the whole width. So unfortunately, when you're fertilizing, there's a lot of waste. So the numbers I've gotten for fertilizing so far with this thing have ranged from about 625 liters per hectare up to around almost 700. And it just depends on which field and how much waste there was. So we're going to drop down into the farm again, fill up this fertilizer spreader, and then we'll work field 16. Should be able to show you guys quite a bit of the fertilizing, I guess, because it is so quick. If we have some time, we'll get into seeding. I believe we should be able to seed during the rain. If we go start on fields 5 and 6, they're not too hilly, so we shouldn't have any problems. Okay, so, and I'm just writing stuff down because that's how I am. I like to keep track of all my numbers. I'm not necessarily writing these down because I'm curious about the price. I'm kind of numbers person. I like to have numbers written down and know exactly what I'm doing. We already know fertilizer costs us about 98 cents per liter, so we don't need to worry about that too much. Out here. Go ahead and start on this end. Now, you know what, for the sake of teaching, and because fertilizer is not nearly as expensive as it used to be, let me show you guys how to set up a course play for fertilizing. And the field, or the method I'm going to show you guys, can be used do other field work as well, but let me demonstrate it. So, down my numbers. Okay, so first things first, pull up our course play. If you go to, I'm on, in modes, I'm on field work. Need to go to fertilizing, fertilize, and seeding. And then if you're not on one of those modes, this little button won't be active. If you switch to the right mode, you can click on this button. It's called course generation. So field edge path, with the developer version of course play right now, you can it'll automatically calculate your field edge paths at the beginning of the game. So if we pull up 16. Now, this one I actually recalculated the field edges for. I'm going to get out here and I'm going to show it to you guys. The blue line with yellow dots is supposed to represent the field edge. So if we go take a look at it, yeah, I mean it's pretty close. So we're happy with that. If you're not using the developer version of Courseplay, you're going to have to create the field edge yourself. But that's really not that hard, so not too much of a problem. 18 meters for the working width. And actually, when I'm doing this Courseplay like this, I like to leave it just a little under. We'll start here, this corner, which would be the southeast corner, and set your direction to west. I believe our return to first point is deactivated. And headland, no, we're not going to worry about a headland. So, click this button. It generates our course for us. And that little start sign is where we need to be. So, it's close enough. Get rid of this. And drive course. Hopefully this should work. So there you go. You can see him going along fertilizing. If I go to settings, turn on all own, you can see those little red things. You can see his course going back and forth across the field. While I'm doing this, you guys might as well turn GPS off. So let me go ahead and close this so you guys can get a better view. And, okay, so that's less than ideal, but now with older versions of Courseplay, usually what we would see people do is create the field edge with about 2 or 3 meters of extra space on the end of it, so that wouldn't happen. So you'd end up with your tractor would drive a little farther off the edge of the field. So that would take care of those missing spots. With the fertilizer spreader, because it kind of shoots the stuff out in a V shape, he gets the very point of the V right to the edge of the field, but he's missing those edges where it's a little shorter. So I feel like if we were using a fertilizer sprayer with the straight booms going out, it might actually do it perfectly. The second option, I can also go back in and re-record a different field edge. With the developer version of Courseplay, there's an option while you're in a field. Let's see, we'll come up here. I think it's in this one that you can't have a course loaded, and you can recalculate the field edge, which is what I did. So you can see how it works. It works pretty well. This allows you to simulate having one of your workers do the fertilizing, which isn't an option. Obviously, under the standard helper modes, they don't do fertilizing. So this is going to leave little spaces of unfertilized stuff, but I'm just going to leave those because it's really not worth it to go back over those with fertilizer. You're going to waste a lot of fertilizer doing it, and their spots are so small that the yield's not going to be affected that much. So if we pull up our field status, we look at field 16, I re-update it. There we go. Okay, get back to field 16. You see right now 64% fertilized, and it's almost all cultivated. There's 1% that says it's seeded, and seeded in maize. That's just an area that I didn't hit very well with the cultivator. If you look really closely, you can see just to the inside of the lighter brown here, there's a little tiny stretch that I missed with the cultivator. But luckily, since we'll be planting canola back in this field, the planter that we have also cultivates, so it's not going to make a difference. Almost there. I'd say he does a pretty good job. If I were going to use these guys to do a lot of my fertilizing, I would probably invest in a fertilizer sprayer, because I have a feeling they do a little bit better job with that. I'm really not going to use course play right now to do much of the fertilizing. I just wanted to show it to you guys because I only have one tractor, so it's not like I can be doing anything else while this is going on. So if I be doing anything else, I might as well just do it myself. But I've seen people ask about this and how to do it, and there was a little confusion about exactly how you set these up. So I thought I would show you guys. And it looks like he's gonna run out before we get to the end of the field. Going to be just a little bit left over, isn't there? Okay, so now I thought this would be enough to do it, but I was wrong. Normally, if I know I have a field that's too big to be fertilized at one time with only one filling of the fertilizer spreader, I would also set up another course, record a course from field, in this case field 16, to the fertilizer fill point. And then what you do is record, you reset the course, save it, reset it, then load both courses, but set up the field work one, and then after you have it set up, load the run to go fill the fertilizer spreader back up, and then do it that way. Then when he runs out of fertilizer, he'll automatically go back and refill it, and then he'll come back to the field when it's full, and he'll get back to work. It's actually pretty awesome the way they have it set up. It's pretty good, pretty smooth. Okay, the end here, off. Okay. 1680. So I'll get those numbers down. Alright, what I'm going to go ahead and do is pause the video here while I take my tractor over to fields 5 and 6. So when we come back, I'll be at fields 5 and 6, and we will fertilize those.